What exactly does a La Nina mean? Lucky for us, we have a PhD in our weather department to answer just that. And it's you, Christopher.
Hey, Steve. Yeah, we're hoping that we get the La Nina conditions because that typically leads to a more active and a little bit of a cooler winter. And we definitely need that because we have the updated drought monitor. Folks, this just came out today, hot off the press this morning. And you can see parts of western Washington now included within a moderate drought for pretty much most of the eastern side of Puget Sound, extending into the southwest interior, even the southwestern and central parts of the Washington coast now within that moderate drought. Hopeful, though, that as we work our way throughout latter parts of the year that we can get a little more moisture in here and hopefully a very snowy season for those ski resorts. Now, taking a look outside, it looked a little more like October a couple hours ago. You can still see a little bit of that fog that has drifted into Seattle, but notice just above it, we're seeing some sunnier conditions, a lot sunnier than the same time yesterday. 64 degrees. Temperatures are responding a little bit warmer at this hour, again, compared to 24 hours ago, and where we have a little more in the way of sunshine and just a touch of northeasterly winds. Those offshore winds boosting those temperatures up to 71 in Port Angeles, 67 in Hoquiam, 64 in Renton. Good early afternoon in Everett, 60 degrees, 66 is that temperature in Bellingham. Notice where we see that white color on this SATRAD. That's where we still are holding on to a little bit of that low level cloud cover. So areas that are outside of those whitish gray areas, seeing a little more in the way of sunshine right now, but where we're seeing a little bit of that cloud cover stick around just a little bit stronger is here in parts of Seattle, as well as Tacoma, extending down I-5 towards Chehalis. But again, eventually we're going to see everybody experiencing some sunnier conditions by this afternoon, helping to warm those temperatures up. We should hit the lower 70s today in Seattle, up to 71 by 3 p.m., holding on to those temperatures in the upper 60s by 5 p.m. and the high temperatures are going to be warmest from Seattle south. 75 in Renton, 72 in Tacoma, 77 there in Mason County for Shelton, 76 in Chehalis, 72 here in Seattle. Our average high is 64, so it's going to be a little bit above average. 68 comfortable for our friends in Snohomish County there in Everett. We also have just a little bit of wildfire smoke that has drifted into the area, just a touch of easterly component to the wind, and that has pulled in just a little bit of that smoke, not only from the Bolt Creek fire, but other fires across northern parts of the Washington Cascades, kind of pulling it in to that I-5 corridor from Tacoma all the way up to Bellingham. So this could slightly reduce that air quality this afternoon. Just keep that in mind if you are sensitive to any of the wildfire smoke pollutants, but I think most areas should stay within that moderate category, not dipping down into the unhealthy for sensitive groups category. But that's something we will continue to keep an eye on, as some more of that smoke could try to drift in later on this afternoon into the evening hours. But again, this is pretty light right now. Fingers crossed that it stays that way, and that's going to stick around into our Friday and possibly over the weekend as well, with those offshore winds helping to pull in just a little bit of that smoke, and that's going to boost the temperatures up to that offshore component to the wind. 75 for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Again, the average high is 64 degrees, so we're going to be running a little bit above average, but the overnights do cool off quite a bit. So that's the good news. A really cool October start to the morning as we warm up just a little bit during the afternoons, and the system that we were talking about yesterday for our Monday and Tuesday not looking as potent as it did yesterday. We still have a chance for a few rain showers Monday into Tuesday, but any meaningful rainfall likely will stay away from western Washington.
All right. Thank you, Christopher.